Hey, good evening. It's Saturday. It's July 16th, and welcome to Everyday Talk 24/7. Since it's Saturday, and we've got Lord's Day tomorrow, we're going to be thinking about worship. And we need to be thinking about our worship, a time of worship together. But one thing I want us to avoid, I think it's huge, is that we restrict worship to a time on Sunday morning. Romans 12, verses 1 and 2 teach us that all of life is about worship, offering our life as a living sacrifice to God. I've got some thoughts about worship that I don't have particular passages tonight, but these are all drawn from the Psalms and the places of praise and worship. So I pray that you'll be able to see the biblical themes that we're talking about here. So what is worship? And worship is something we need to command and connect with mercy. Worship leads us to be aware of the mercy of God to us. And then therefore that ought to bring a response of mercy to us. Not just the time when we gather together in formal worship and then go about our way, but that this worship actually impacts my heart and your heart so that it responds, so we respond in mercy, because that's what's being given to us. When I have that kind of response, that response leads me to repentance, and that leads me to joy. Let me tell you how I got there. Worship is a response to God's greatness. Again, the Psalms are just full of these thoughts, resplendent with them. We see the greatness of God, how he made the planets, how he made the creation, the beauty that we see, the power that he has. There's none like him. So it's a response to greatness. Worship is also a response to power. We talked about the Webb telescope this week and these billions of galaxies with millions and billions of stars in each one of them. God put them all there and holds them in place by his great power. That's a pretty good definition of power. And then worship is a response to the holiness of God. When Isaiah was confronted with the person and character of God, he says, "Woe is me, for I'm a man of unclean lips." And he was struck by the wonder of God. These things help us to understand the fact that we can worship God at all is an act of the mercy of God, which calls me to be able to worship. That's God's mercy for me. Instead of wiping me out or chastising me or punishing me, he lets me worship him and respond in mercy. If we're caught up with the greatness, the power, and the holiness of God, then we need to be overwhelmed with the mercy that is extended to us. So a question that we need to ask ourselves regularly: what if God responded to me in mercy to me the way I respond in mercy to others? That's not a very pleasant thought, is it? That's why we need to have worship front and center of our minds. We need to be overwhelmed with the worship of God so that I can be overwhelmed with his mercy and then extend that to other people as a result of my worship. And then that leads me to repentance, because I can see that I'm not there. I should not be able to worship him at all. But because of his mercy, I can. That cause draws me then to want to extend mercy to other people. This is why mercy and worship need to be a 24/7 experience for us. We're always in the presence of God. We're always experiencing the mercy of God and the grace of God. That worship experience of knowing his mercy, of responding to his greatness, to his power, to his holiness, needs to take my heart and extend mercy to those around me. And I do this in repentance for my own sins so that I can be free to love in others. And then, once those barriers are out of the way, then this worship, which opens my heart to mercy, which leads me into repentance, leads me to joy. Don't make worship about something that makes you feel good. Make worship about something that helps you to respond to the wonder and mercy of God that's given to us. And that's just the thought for this night. It's a good thought to end the week on. And Lord willing, we'll see you on Monday morning. Check us out at RadioTalk247.com. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing that. Thank you for your comments, your support. It helps make this happen every week. So I'm very grateful for that. And like I said, Lord willing, we'll see you on Monday. But make the worship of God something that becomes a moment-by-moment experience for you. And you can know the mercy, you can know the repentance, and you can know the joy of being free to worship your God 24/7. You have a great evening, and Lord willing, we'll see you Monday morning. Good night.